It's the first time I'm seeing it. A mother is walking with her little daughter, maybe 2 years old, on a leash. It's like a video game. I guess children would love it. Look, Huawei. I'll show you the cars that they are going to launch under a new brand. In some places, Shanghai reminds me of America. Here, for example, on this side, these buildings, hotels, America of the early 20th century. Shanghai, one of the largest and most populous cities in China, situated on the east coast with a population of about 25 million people. Shanghai is a global financial hub, a key transportation hub, a major port city. My name is Igor Yerme. If you're on my channel, here I travel around the cities and countries, immersing myself in local life, culture and history, see the local sites and try to find the perfect city for a live-in. In this episode, we'll get to know the unofficial capital of China, find out what helped the city become a major financial center, how other culture have influenced it, and how you can visit London without leaving China. And also, why Shanghai is often compared to Paris, so much so that it even began to bear the unofficial name of Eastern Paris. Maglev, that's their high-speed train going to the center from the Pudong airport. Pudong International, speed 300 kilometers per hour. We'll get to the city real quick with a breeze. Just don't open the windows. I waited at the border for 2 hours before they checked my passport and visa. There were a ton of people. Here it's also shown on the floor. Like this. Yep. But it's not what I need. I need line number 2. Where is it? Let's look. It's like a video game. I guess the children would love it. It's like in computer games. Alright, here's line 2. There's the thing. It's fast. 300 kilometers per hour, 15 minutes from the airport to the center. Everyone is standing and taking pictures, and so do I. What, am I better than everyone? In the early 19th century, Shanghai was a fishing town, and according to various estimates, between 50 to 100,000 people were living there. In the middle of the century, it became a port opened for international trade, attracting foreign traders and missionaries, as well as Chinese migrants from rural areas, seeking work and refuge from civil unrest and natural disasters. Shanghai's population grows rapidly and by 20th century exceeds 1 million. In some places, Shanghai reminds me of America. Here, for example, on this side, these buildings, hotels, America of the early 20th century. The name Shanghai comes from the Chinese characters Sheng, which means upon, and Hai, sea. Thus, Shanghai means upon the sea, reflecting the city's geographical location at the mouth of the Yangtze River, adjacent to the East China Sea. The Yangtze River, also known as the Long River or Mother River, is the longest river in Eurasia and the 4th longest in the world. It is also the longest river flowing through the single state. Its length is 6,300 kilometers. The river has historically been connecting sea routes with island markets. It made it easy to transport goods into the interior of the country and served as a channel for international trade, significantly increasing the economic importance of Shanghai. With the influx of foreign capital and technology after the Opium Wars, Shanghai and the Yangtze River region went through rapid industrialization. Textile, steel and shipbuilding industries developed fast, turning Shanghai into a bustling metropolis. As I've mentioned, foreigners flocked to Shanghai. This formed certain communities and then entire blocks. And this reminds me of the Plaza de España in Madrid for some reason, specifically from this point. This square is very similar. It's beautiful. The center of Shanghai is very neat, a lot of very diverse architecture. pretty cool. In Shanghai, there was a French concession. A territory was under the control and governed by France for nearly 100 years. In 1943, during the Second World War, the French concession was handed over to the Japanese. Today, the borders of the former French concession are not visible, but the architecture, culture, and atmosphere of the districts remain. In the early 20th century, Shanghai was called the Eastern Paris for its cosmopolitan atmosphere, vibrant nightlife, and European-style architecture. During this period, Shanghai became the Asian center of fashion, art, and lifestyle trends. Of course, Europeans have left a significant mark on Shanghai's architecture. Boulevards, mansions, neoclassical buildings, and the Bund. From here, you can take a boat ride down the river. In this waterfront area, you can see structures similar to the architecture of European cities. Gothic, Baroque styles, Neoclassical, Art Deco. Look at the Union Building, built in 1916. It was the first building in the city where a steel structure was used. It's of the Neo-Renaissance style with elements of Baroque. Or the American Club on Fuji Road. It was built in the American Georgian style. Just recently, a new town called Thamstown was built 30 kilometers from the center of Shanghai, apparently named after the river of the same name in London. Everything here is done in British style. Cobbled streets, Victorian terraces, and even the famous red phone booths. It is a fun knockoff of an English town, assumed by the Chinese people. As we can see, the Chinese copy not only cars, but entire city blocks and even districts. Let's go and see more of Shanghai. Shanghai is one municipality divided into 16 districts. Fengxiang is a district established in 1724, subordinate to the Songjiang Governorate. The district itself is divided into 8 villages. Fengxiang is home to the Tesla automobile plant, the Bailian Nongqiao shopping mall, and Shanghai Business School campus. There is a legend that Confucius once taught in these parts, which is where the name Fengxiang comes from, meaning to grasp wisdom. 9 Shanghai districts make up the financial center. In the Lijiazui area, you'll find the most famous tower, the bottle opener, Shanghai World Financial Center. It's almost 500 meters tall with 101 floors. It is among the top tallest buildings in the world and Asia, ranking 12th in the world and 6th in Asia. The highest point of the building can be reached using escalators, of which there are 33, or with the help of high-speed elevators. They move at a speed of 10 meters per second. In 2008, this skyscraper was recognized as the best in the world, but things were not so simple with the building. Construction was frozen for 10 years due to financial crisis, but then it was continued. The building was erected over 4 years with occasional changes made into it. There is a window at the top of the building, which is designed to reduce wind pressure. It was originally intended to be circular, but the Chinese protested. The Shanghai mayor was not happy about it either, because a window like that would associate with the rising sun or the flag of Japan. In the end, the window was constructed in trapezoid shape. The Shanghai Metro. I can say it was easy for me to figure it out. I was much more interested in walking around the city for extra 30 minutes rather than going down. This is the largest and fastest growing metro system in China. So here's the metro map. In large font are the Chinese hieroglyphs, and in small letters, right there, it's for us, Europeans. Anyway, you know where my hotel is? How do I even navigate through this? There's somewhere around here is my hotel. Damn, how do you puzzle out this map? It was opened not so long ago, in 1993. For comparison, the Moscow Metro, which is also considered one of the largest in the world, opened in 1935. Moscow Metro has 275 stations. Shanghai Metro has more than 450. The total length of the Moscow Metro is 648 kilometers. The Shanghai Metro is 831 kilometers long, placing it among the longest systems in the world. Every day, about 7 million people use the Shanghai Metro. The downside of the Shanghai Underground is rush hour. And going there without knowing Chinese is like going down into an underground labyrinth without a map. Anyway, a lot of you are probably interested not so much in the metro in China, but in cars. A year ago, more than 320 million cars were driving around China, not counting public transport. This is more than 6 times than their number in Russia. And they should have also counted the scooters. It seems to me there are 10 times more of them here. These scooters are like locusts, fearless and merciless. China is the world's largest market of scooters, especially electric ones, which have become extremely popular due to their affordability, efficiency, and contribution to reducing air pollution. China is also a world leader in car manufacturing. There are more than 6,000 car companies in the country. Look, Huawei, but I'm not going to show you the phones. I'll show you the cars that they're going to launch under a new brand, Luxid. There they are, see? New modern cars. The brand name is Luxid. The front looks very much like Porsche Panamera, and the back looks like a Mercedes electric one. It looks like this, right? Just like Mercedes. Inside, since it's Huawei, it's of course full of computers, all kinds of touch panels. This thing on the seat feels nice, but the dashboard, the dashboard is essentially non-existent. The central console, well, it's pretty simple, can say it's tricked out. My Genesis has it much more fancy. And here it's just a computer, a tablet, and that's it. It has tablets here in the back too. I've also put tablets in my back seats for my kids. Literally, I simply bought tablet holders and that's it. I can remove them, I put them back when needed. Here's another one in SUV. By the way, that Luxid has very low clearance, about 10 centimeters. I think it will get smashed on Russian roads. It's a Porsche, especially from behind. I'll show you now. Look at this, from here. If you look from this angle, it's just like a Porsche. M5, maybe like a BMW. They took a name from BMW. For some reason, everyone wants these tablets everywhere. I don't know, to sit in front of a tablet. I have enough of these tablets. At home and at work, and now it's a trend to have these huge screens everywhere. Well, you can just take a tablet in your hands. I don't know about this. Alright, why am I even discussing these topics? I guess everyone can choose what they like best. Now, let's get back to Shanghai itself. In October 1994, an overhead road almost 50 kilometers long was opened here. This internal ring road connects the main areas of the city. It is believed that the overpass roughly follows the outline of Shanghai's old city walls, although the city walls themselves no longer exist. The ring road serves as a modern marker of the city's historical border. I'm staying in a hotel in the city center. I have this view from the terrace of my hotel in Shanghai. It's 4th floor. It's cool that they have installed this thing here on the terrace. It shows directions to different landmarks. You can see what is where and how to get there. The hotel is very conveniently located. The nearest central locations are very close by, within like 15 to 20 minutes walking. A little spoiler, I'm making a separate video about old Shanghai and the temples. Maybe by the time you're watching this, it will already be published on the channel. Check it out if you're planning a trip to Shanghai. Also in my Chinese series, there will be an episode about the Shanghai-Beijing high-speed train and an episode from Beijing itself. The famous shopping street. It has everything: shops, restaurants, cafes, and so on. Nanjing Road is one of the most popular shopping streets. It is often compared to Champs-Élysées, Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, and Oxford Street in London. In my opinion, it has nothing in common with them. However, it is considered one of the longest shopping streets of the world. It is 5.5 kilometers long and the number of everyday visitors reaches 1 million. It runs into the embankment that I mentioned earlier. So a nice conclusion to a day of shopping would be that great view of Shanghai skyscrapers. The history of Nanjing Road is a major shopping street dates back to the beginning of the 20th century. Back then, 8 large department stores and a series of franchise stores were opened here. Now, in its eastern part, you'll find the Peace Hotel with notable former guests like Charlie Chaplin, Bernard Shaw, Muhammad Ali, and Bill Clinton. The history of the hotel is also interesting. It was originally named Sassoon House after its main investor. On the roof of that hotel there was a large restaurant with a terrace. It has 70 Chinese, 1 French and 1 British chefs working there. They served the most up-to-date cuisine in China. Since 1937, the hotel was going through a difficult period. First, during the Sino-Japanese War, the hotel was hit by a bomb. Then, in late 1941, it was occupied by the Japanese army, which made it their headquarters. What about now? You can listen to jazz performed by the old jazz band and admire the embankment and skyscrapers from the windows of the rooms. The price is $450 per night, with no breakfast, but with a hot tub. Nanjing Road is home to over 600 shopping companies. There are not only expensive boutiques, but also shops with cheap Chinese brands. Those who love Chinese cuisine can stock up at food stores. Alright, the Shanghai-style buffet. You see these huge pilmeni? Potatoes. On the west side of the street, you'll find Plaza 66, one of the best shopping centers in the city. It consists of a shopping center and 2 skyscrapers. One tower is 288 meters, the other is 228. The number 66 in the name is the number of floors. The building received some architectural awards unbeknownst to me. A complete fashion bonanza is waiting here for you, with Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Cartier, Bulgari, Fendi, Prada and Versace. Look at this store window. It's just for looking at kitties, seriously. it. If you enjoyed the video, like it, share your thoughts in the comments, where on the globe you'd like to go. What would you like to learn more about, which facts, events, places, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel not to miss other episodes about China.